And IG is with me in the studio.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to Headline Roundup.
I kind of like this your new look.
Thank you.
How's your weekend?
It was good. It was good. You're back.
Yeah, good to be back. Viewers, I'm going nowhere. Well, we've been seeing these roadblocks around Abuja, and
Yeah.
one is wondering after the IGP told us that everything's safe and sound in Abuja,
Mm.
and you can see roadblocks
Mm.
right from Yaya down to Capital Junction.
Oh, like I see the
Yeah,
roadblocks everywhere. It makes it feels like we're under some sort of security threat. I
well,
mean, we don't know what's going on.
I think probably the IGP will be telling us exactly what's going on in Abuja. Probably there's a little bit of security, insecurity issues,
Mm.
so that we could actually know what exactly to do and what exactly we need to hold up to in the security issues.
Well, I do hope we all stay safe out there.
Hmm.
We've also seen curfews in Abuja. Let's not forget that. A lot of businesses close by 7, 8 p.m. And, it's everybody's just being security conscious
Even in some
because,
areas, you have churches now under lock and keys. At
yeah,
night, we're having their services, their vigil,
mm,
and one will wonder what's actually going on.
yeah, lots of insecurity everywhere. But moving on, let's look at the headlines that are making rounds today. Building collapse, Lagos orders arrest of developer, others. Lagos State government has ordered the arrest of the developer and building professionals working on the 7th floor structure that collapsed at Oba Abiodun Oniru Road in the Iru Victoria Island area of the state on Sunday. Lawmaker proposes bill to stop same-faith ticket. The lawmaker representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Smart Adeyemi, has proposed a bill to prevent same-faith ticket of either Muslim-Muslim or Christian-Christian for president and vice president seats by any political party after the 2023 general election. Missing Ondo Tescom director found beheaded. Police. Mr. Benga Olofimoyegu, a director with the Ondo State Teaching Service Commission, was declared missing on Thursday. His body was found beheaded on Sunday as confirmed by the Ondo Police Command. You are a paper candidate. APC is dead. PDP replies Tinubu. The PDP Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba stated this in a statement on Sunday, saying that Asewaju is intimidated by Atiku and PDP achievements. Germany announced a €65 billion package to curb soaring energy costs. Germany has announced a €65 billion package of measures to ease the threat of rising energy costs as Europe struggles with scarce supplies after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The package, much bigger than two previous ones, will include one-off payments to the most vulnerable and tax breaks to energy-intensive businesses. Energy prices have soared since the February invasion, and Europe is trying to wean itself off Russian energy. Ukraine has urged Europe to stand firm. Deadly attack targets Somalia food convoy. At least 20 people, including women and children, have been killed and food aid destroyed after militants attacked several vehicles in Somalia's central Hiran region. They put a bomb while people were in the car and it blew up, the region's governor told the BBC Somali service. Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab has said it was targeting a government-affiliated armed group. Somalia is facing what experts call its worst drought in a decade, and threat from Al-Shabaab militants who want to overthrow the central government also continues to grow. Man United end Arsenal's unbeaten run. Anthony scored on his debut for Manchester United and Marcus Rashford's double inspired a 3-1 win that ended Arsenal's perfect start to the Premier League season on Sunday. Arsenal has been on winning streak since the start of the season, winning 5 of their 5 games until the Man United game. Okay, so let's start with the Lagos story. I mean, we're seeing a building collapse yet again, another building.
IJ, it's actually worrisome that we're seeing consistent happenings about this building collapse because you can't have this something happening and nobody's doing anything about it. Look at the issue that's been happening in Lagos. We had in February where the same building was marked actually for demolition because this building was being seen since February 2021 and it was marked as restricted zone. And I'm wondering what exactly is the regulatory body doing? What was the monitoring team doing? Why should it be brought down? See in India where a 40-story building was brought down just because it didn't meet the standard of requirements of building houses in India. So now We waited until even somebody made a video about this same building, and now we have the building trapped with 7 people in it. 2 people are dead.
I think it falls back to a failure of the system, because we said this last week, we mentioned this last week. If a building, before a building is raised, there are several processes you have to go through. You have to get approval. Who approved this building? Who gave the approval? Where did they source the materials from? If we have the Standard Organization of Nigeria working, if we have these agencies working, then the first thing is that these materials that are used, the building materials, are the original materials, are their standard materials. And then you now come down to the approval of the building designs. I remember our guest mentioned that if you have if you've laid a foundation or you've gotten approval for a 1-story building, you shouldn't have a 2-story building there, because this is what you got approval for, and there's a reason you got approval for this level. So I mean, it's a total failure. It's a total collapse of the system, really. Something should have been done. That house should have been taken down long before this happened, because these are people's lives that we play with every day.
Ijoba, this area you're talking about, the topography of that area, the texture of the sand are not what you have to start building a 7-story building on. It will come down. Because current,
somebody should have told them that.
Exactly. Current even should have actually certified people to bring on this same site. And we have current saying, oh, we have our people who are certified. Okay, now do you have an engineer on ground? When it was it was marked for as a restricted zone. We should actually have the monitoring team always coming on site. But we see in the video that was made that this building, there was construction going on.
Yes, I think the urban development, this is where it's their
That's
job.
The town planning,
if you mark a house for demolition for obvious purposes, for obvious reasons rather, and these reasons or these conditions that you've marked this house for demolition aren't still met or cannot be met, then you need to follow up. You need to follow up and make sure that this building gets taken down.
To draw your attention,
this building was completed.
Yeah, to draw your attention, it was marked in February 2021.
It should have been taken down.
In November 2021, a high-rising building fell in Lagos. 44 people died. Coming to May, in Ebute Metta, another 7-story building again fell, and 8 people were killed. Now, look at what is happening. I got Palace Way also witnessed the same thing. So now it's a kind of consistent thing happening, and we have the Lasema saying that people are still trapped in this building up to this moment. So now, where do we kick in the rescue?
I mean, we also looked at this issue with the emergency response. What is the speed? How fast are they able to, to react to these situations? I mean, we have people trapped under these buildings. How can we get them out? How prepared are these agencies to step in and manage this?
Yeah, they're saying that their heavy-duty equipment will be moved in. But one is asking when exactly are these equipment going to be moved in? Because we have people's lives at stake at this moment. They have families who are hoping they come back home safely. So I think the Lagos State government should be doing more than actually telling us rescue plan is underway. We hope these people are safe and sound at the end of the day. And
okay, I mean, let's move to Kogi State, where the senator representing the Kogi State West Senatorial District,
Senator Sam Adeyemi.
Yes, and I mean, he's coming out again to speak against the APC's Muslim ticket. Are you
aware he's an APC senator?
Yes, he's an APC senator, and he's proposing a bill to prevent that for the for coming election cycles. And it only goes to show you that within the APC, there seems to be a problem, and that the members of the APC, the ruling party, are not happy with this choice.
Actually, this should not be a rumor anymore that there's any kind of bickering going on in APC, because if Sam Adeyemi could come outside and say he wants to sponsor a bill that will stop the Muslim ticket, that means that there must be something going on. He has spoken enough to probably the ESCOs and no one is listening. So he is now going to take it to a legal angle whereby actually in the House, it will be set as a bill. And if this bill passes through, it will be only, not going to be a precedent, but it's going to be an occurrence that would tackle further occurrence in the future.
I mean, Nigeria seems to be, you can't mention this enough, but Nigeria is obviously divided along religious lines. And if we want to look at it, we can see that APC did not really pick based on competency. That's one thing we know for certain, that the vice presidential candidate wasn't picked out for his competency. I mean, we had another member of the APC, the presidential aspirant in the just concluded primaries, Nicholas Felix, also coming out on TV, national TV, to say that Kashim Shettima wasn't picked for competency, was picked for religion, and because they were both minority. Kashim Shettima is a minority. Asiwaju is a minority Muslim, so he couldn't go with a minority Christian, which is why he had to pick Kashim Shettima. We've also had Festus Keyamo backing this line of thought. So it follows that the APC did not pick the vice presidential candidate based on competence. And you think a bill like this, if passed, is going to help in the coming election cycles to help us to choose based on competence? I mean, when do we stop bringing religion? When do we stop bringing tribe? All these other factors that shouldn't necessarily matter. When do we stop bringing all of this into our politics?
Nigeria is a secular state. You cannot take that away. You bringing a Muslim ticket is like you're trying to tell Nigerians that you don't even care about their feelings at this time. And we are divided already along religious issues. And look at it. It happened in 1993 with MKO Kingibe candidacy. Yeah. That does not mean that the same kind of politics that existed then is still existing now. So you should actually look at the pulse of the nation before you make some kind of decisions, because your party members are coming out. Even Festus Keyamo has actually said in the past that a Muslim candidacy cannot fly in Nigeria. But I wonder why he's supporting this at this time. Probably interest or something. His paymasters are actually in line with it, so he has to align with them.
Okay, let's move on to, I mean, we're still back to insecurity, the missing TESCOM.
It's becoming a worrisome state in Nigeria whereby people just disappear and nobody's underreported. That's even the aching part of it. It's underreported in the news, daily news, and nobody's saying anything about it. See, if someone like TESCOM boss could be beheaded, missing and later found to be beheaded,
government official.
That speaks a lot. That speaks a lot about what is exactly happening in our security apparatus at this time. Because one can actually look at it from the angle of saying that, people are being kidnapped, people are disappearing, we have banditry ravaging the country, we have UGM coming to display their own acts, and now we are happy that we have the Amotekun who have actually been coming in to play a kind of role.
You know, recently 32 people were kidnapped along, going from Benin back to Ondo State.
Exactly.
And we had the Amotekun stepping in to calm the forest. I mean, they seem to be really taking this security brief more seriously.
Because with the statistics of even our military bases being attacked, over 750 military men has been killed. Even the bases have been attacked, and over 750 personnel have been killed. So one will wonder, how is intelligence gathering being done in this country? Because if they are not credible intelligence coming in, then we have an issue. Because these events should be curbed before they happen. And if they are not curbed before they happen, we'll be reporting incidents of killing, kidnaps, and what do you have it in the public? So I think we need to sit up when it comes to information gathering and how we will come up with our disposition when it comes to arresting these people.
Okay, then let's look at the PDP. Come back to Asiwaju Ahmed's statement that the APC and the PDP should not still be in existence. I mean, he was mocking the PDP. He said they lacked direction and that they were scared of the APC and all that it was going to do and its achievements. And I mean, he basically said he didn't know why the PDP was still in existence, and we've seen the PDP responding to that, saying that the APC is dead.
I'll be looking at PDP actually taking him on this. A man who has a barrage of issues, allegations, ranging from tax influences, fuel hike. You have him having issues with even his identity. You have issues with his birth certificates. You have issues with his results from school. You have him having issues, several issues. That's where Asiwaju Tinubu should be looking at, not actually looking at the inexistence of PDP, which actually is in existence. But I think he's scared about what is going to happen come 2023 because he has a power delegate of Atiku and Okowa, and he cannot stand these people.
I mean,
So,
we saw him playing the 16 years of PDP card yet again, and it does seem to me, from where I sit, that the 8 years of APC seems to have fared a lot worse by all standards than the 16 years of PDP. They seem to have made a mess of everything that the PDP has done in 16 years. And then you have as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu also saying that the PDP neglected the railway system. I mean, it's calls into question what the government is currently doing now. I mean, we had the Goodluck Jonathan-led government reviving this sector, this all-important sector. During that period of his governance, we saw a lot of movement through rail. A lot of people were able to travel from Abuja to Kaduna through the rail. And right now, it seems like bandits have hijacked this railway system, so much so that people are scared to travel by railway.
well, and Asiwaju is known for one thing: mudslinging. He has done it to Obasanjo. He did it to Goodluck Jonathan. But now you see him running around, flocking around them. Because of what? It's not just because of his interest, but his own selfishness. Because if someone like Tinubu could still be coming out for presidential race, one would question, what exactly is he coming to offer? You have even buildings collapsing in your state. You have not even been able to tackle the insecurities ravaging your state. You have the thugs coming out, claiming spaces around Lagos. Then if one should look into Lagos, how you have handled it, how you have made everybody to feel that you are the Lord Mayor in your state. Are you coming to replicate the same thing when you come
I mean, that's what Kashim Shettima said. He said they are coming to replicate Lagos and Borno State across Nigeria. And someone asked if they're about to flood Nigeria with insecurity. I mean, Lagos is flooded and Borno State was ridden with insecurity.
I would just advise Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu to actually take it to an issue-based discussion going forward, because PDP has come to fore to bring about issue-based discussion, because this election actually will make or mar Nigeria, because we cannot keep on throwing this mudslinging up and down. What we have to discuss, the insecurity issues that are there. You are talking about inexistence. Who is actually the ruling party? APC, who promised to lead from the front, who promised Nigeria $1 to $1 to $1.
Oh, they're making other promises.
And
again.
more promises are coming. The ones that you made, you have not lived up to it. And you are calling a party that gave you succor. We had Buhari coming in the first 2 weeks, and people were shouting that their fridges are breaking up their bottles. Okay, you should give accolades to Goodluck Jonathan's administration and stop these attacks on these people and bring to the polity an issue-based discourse. I guess that's what should solve the path.
The APC seems to be all about attack. They've said, Asiwaju has said that he has plans, and they have plans on ground. They are strategizing on how to combat Nigeria's challenges. I mean, it's interesting that he says that. I mean, we've seen His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's manifesto, his policy document, what he's going to do. We have this properly outlined, so we know.
Thank you for mentioning that.
We are yet to see.
Do you know that it's only Atiku that has a policy plan?
Yes.
Document.
That's the only one we've seen.
And he's saying that PDP is not in existence. I wonder what he's bringing. You're not saying, you're saying Emilokon. And people are asking you, is it just based on it's your turn? Or what you're bringing to the table? You cannot just tell us your birthright and we just take it hook, line, and sinker. But you have to tell us exactly what you're bringing to Nigerians.
So for one, it is birthright, and for the other, it's
a plan.
Religion-based. So we see that the APC doesn't seem to be ready for this election. You think that they are scared, and that's why statements like this are coming out.
Exactly. You're right about that. And right about now, we need to actually calm the studio down a little. We'll be going to only a short break now. When we come back, we'll be having Pepper in the house and taking us a bit of foreign and sports news.
This nation for the first time is most divided like never before. This nation for the first time stands in a place and position of its greatest challenges, perhaps since the Civil War. This is the most challenging period in the economy of our nation. This is the most challenging period in the security, infrastructure, or stature of our nation. This is the most challenging situation in almost every facet of the unity of this nation. And there is no one man, as far as the current permutation, the current arrangement is concerned, that is most positioned to salvage and to save the situation like Atiku Abubakar. I'll tell you the truth, we all know the presidential aspirants that are out there. By experience, Atiku is far and above every one of them. He has been an elected governor, he has been a vice president for 8 years, and so many other experiences that he's bringing to board. None of them can boast of that experience. None of them possesses that kind of experience coming into this election. He is the one man who has told us he will unify this country, and we've seen his antecedents. He has friends across the length and breadth of this country like none of those presidential aspirants do. He is a man who has connected well with every Nigerian. He's not a bigot. He's not a tribalist. He's a man who knows nobody after your creed or tribe. He's a man who knows you as a Nigerian. Atiku is a nationalist. Atiku is a patriot. This is the truth of the matter. This is the kind of man that the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is presenting to Nigerians. And I can assure you, come 2023, Nigerians will live to celebrate. Nigerians will live to be happy with themselves that a man has come to save Nigeria, that Atiku Abubakar has come to save Nigeria, because that has been in the core of his heart. That has been his heart cry for all these decades, for all these years that he has sought to be the president of this country. And I assure you, he will unite warring factions of this country. He will bring about the security of this country. He will bring about the economic development of this nation, and all Nigerians will be proud. Today, Nigeria has become a laughing stock in the scheme of things, and even on the African continent. We used to be the giant of Africa. We used to be the leader of Africa. But all of a sudden, we've become the laughing stock of Africa. Atiku will change that narrative. Atiku will change that story. Atiku is the best man. He is the right man. He is the man positioned to take this nation to its glory land.
As one, we can get it done.
Welcome back. And what we haven't seen today, we have more of foreign and sports for you at this time. And we have Mike.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I enjoyed the first part of the show.
Of course you did.
Of course you did. What do you have for us on the foreign scene, though?
So there is...
let's look at the
Germany.
Germany, yes.
Yeah, sending in... They have a package of about £56.2 billion for the soaring cost of energy. And they want to send it out to people, to countries that qualify for the package. I need the money though in my house, because clearly we can't afford light and things like that because of the energy. So yeah.
I mean, we're looking at it, the European countries seem to be suffering from the Russia-Ukraine crisis, really. Yeah,
it's mostly about those. I think the Russia-Ukraine war has had a major impact in the rising cost of energy. So it's good that at least a country like Germany, who also has a lot of business deals with Russia, trying to ease the cost of energy around the world.
But we also saw people protesting. We saw people protesting the ban, the sanctions placed on Russia because of the rising cost of gas.
Yeah, but it's a war in which they started. So they should be able to, or they should be willing to take whatever comes with it.
And these Nigerians should be looking at the cost of an invasion, because in a place where you have chaos, what you have is what? Inconsistency. You have lots of inflation would come in play. And you see what's going on globally. The cost of energy has increased. Even the Biden administration is worried. And it's actually a welcome development that the European states are looking at more options, alternatives to the Russian supply of energy to them. The gas that Russia is supplying to the European countries have actually made them more of a kind of big brother to them. But I'm seeing this as a kind of welcome development whereby other countries will be autonomous of their production of energy, and it's better off.
What does it spell for the Russian economy?
Well, Putin has to put up with what is going on, because he has been holding arms strong in other nations to what actually I call a kind of loophole where no one could actually go outside to source for energy. But now they have alternatives. They have options. No longer a Russian economy being sponsored by other people's funds, but now other people's country will be getting their GDP rising by this. And I hope.
I mean, it is a welcome development. Well, let's move on to Somalia and
Wow.
the crisis in Somalia.
That country has had lots of series of issues concerning insecurity, and citizens of that country have actually been suffering from these attacks. And you see, these Islamic sects have actually taken it to another level, attacking convoy of foods, where globally people are complaining about food insecurity. And where you have food insecurity and some people are attacking the source of food, that tells you a lot about how this was mindset.
What exactly do these people think about when they're going to attack a food farm? And there were children involved in the blast as well.
Women and children.
Like it's a sad development for that country. And let's pray our own country doesn't end up like that, because it's the same thing.
You are saying that we should not get to that point. We are at that point already. We have in the northeast where they're actually trying to produce food. They can't go to the farm anymore.
That's true, yes. So it's almost
the cattle are being killed.
And we hear
rustlers are
benefiting. We've seen
Agatu, we have Agatu doing Agatu crying out, saying that they can't go to the farm.
We also hear the APC vice presidential candidate saying he wants to replicate what happened in Borno.
Across
Nigeria.
the entire Nigeria. I don't think it's something worth replicating.
Basically the same thing.
Well, we hope that this does not move beyond what it is at the moment, because our security people need to sit up and know exactly what it should be happening, because this is actually a trade zone for Nigeria also. Because if you are looking at Somalia, you think that Somalia is far away from Nigeria. It's not far away.
Well, I think when you say our security people need to sit up, I think it's more of a problem of the leadership, because it's the same, a lot of these security operatives were the same people before in the previous administration that are still there. I mean, some of them are still there. And then it's a problem of the leadership. It's a problem with the language, the body language, the tone, how you are following up. So I think what we really want to see is a change in governance come next year. And we'll see how this governance translates to better security. I mean, we were looking at the Amotekun news earlier. And it still follows what we were saying with Dr. Atiku Abubakar's policy with state policing. These are things that we need to look at. So if we're really going to get our security right, I think it will have to start from changing the commander-in-chief.
Absolutely, you're correct. Because you have even the Buhari administration coming in 2015 telling us that it's going to lead from the front on this war against insecurity. The insurgency has soared. Nobody is safe any longer. We have in Abuja or Crescent, we have security checkpoints everywhere. And now you're asking, what exactly has this government done within the past 7.5 years concerning insecurity?
I hope we do not go down the same route.
I mean, it's the same administration that the Minister of Defense told us to arm ourselves. Even he carrying arms as a soldier with a convoy full of soldiers was carrying arms. Like the video circulated social media, was carrying arms into his car. So this is where we find ourselves in this country. We definitely need proper change.
I hope it does not result to us actually carrying arms and coming to the studio. Well, moving on to the sports scene at this time, and we have Man U. If we go on the break now, we'll be coming back to talk about Chelsea and not Man U. So we have Man U coming on. I know IJ is.
She wants to run. She doesn't like sports. I don't know why.
Who do you support?
I'm
better support Arsenal.
I'll prefer I give you a blue. I'll give you a blue jersey.
Spanish,
you're a Spanish La Liga.
I'm a fan of the Catalonians.
On the EPL scene, we had Man U trashing Arsenal.
It wasn't a try. You didn't trash Arsenal, man. It's 3-1. Come on, calm down. We're still top of the league.
Being on top of the league. Well, if you're still on top of the league and you lost, I hope this does not spell you losing all through the
but this is the first time they're losing this season.
We all know how Arsenal plays.
If any other team
they win one and they lose all.
If any other team is still in the race, Arsenal are definitely still in the title race. It's as simple as that. Because we're still top of the league, and we still have obviously being top of the league is being top of the league.
I'm just going to take a soft one on you because I know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar supports Arsenal.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to say, okay, let's just take it that the winning team is going to win always. But this one you lost us.
Yeah, champions never give up though, so we need to keep going.
No, they lost this battle, but they will win the war.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. That's a good one from IJ. And on this, we'll be closing for our set this morning on Highline Roundup. And join us again tomorrow on that edition.
where we round up news from all over the world, foreign news, sports news, and other things happening locally. Do join us again across all our social media platforms at AtikuLive.
I remain Ikoku Chidozie.
I am Ijoma Odumodu.
And I'm Michael. See you tomorrow.
Bye.